because I do 1,300 crunches and sit-ups 4 times a week.
What's a dose? Can you translate for us?
Winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Ernie Els.
Welcome back to the Go Track, the podcast about golf and golf-adjacent things, mostly from Africa, particularly South Africa, more particularly KZN. Terence is doing a survey, in inverted commas, on a 5-star resort, so it's quite impressive that all the directors go to this field work. But I will be taking the helm today and taking you through Mr. Hoffman's 7 things about golf. Hoffman, hello.
Hello JDV, I'm very happy with your little intro. I thought you were going to screw it up. I had odds on that, but I think you did a good job. Not as good as Terence, but that's why he's the fearless leader.
Well, if you can hear that cup clanging around pretty aggressively right next to his microphone, that's Mr. Fuad Davids. He has been with us before, most notably rambling through drunkenly at the Nedbank Challenge, but also on the Etiquette and Cheating podcast. So Fuad, I think it's probably apt that you hear for Mr. Hoffman's 7 things about golf. Last week or a couple of weeks ago, I did my 7 favorite courses. Hoff, I think you wanted to take it a slightly different approach. Do you want to run us through what your thinking behind this was and how you wanted to do the pod today?
Yeah, look, I think first and foremost, it's nice to have FD here with us. It did sound like Jacques was accusing him of a lack of etiquette and cheating, but I think that was a reference to a podcast and not his conduct.
I mean, just the rambling. That was the guy that was next to me when we sat there and rambled in the bush.
But yeah, nice to have FD here. Yeah, JDV, I don't think I've played enough golf courses to have a 7 favorite. I think I've only played enough all 7 would basically be my favorite. I have played more than that, to be honest, but I think that would be a bit boring. But I mean, as you know, I'm not as good a golfer as the rest of the guys on the pod, and I look at golf slightly differently.
Well, I think that's relative. The guys on this pod, you might be a slightly...
No, I think it's still correct, although maybe a bit closer. But I'd like to take it in a bit of a different sort of area of golf, to look at golf as a whole. I mean, as you know, I play golf for things like the curry gravy and what the pro shop looks like, and equipment and that kind of stuff. So I've mixed it up a little bit, and I've got little categories. I've come up with, although it's 7 things, I've come up with 6 categories, and number 7 I will get to, but that will be in your guys' hands to ask me what you would like to know as the 7th in terms of my golfing career, given that you guys know me best on the golf course. So the first category that I've got here is what is my greatest golf course. So that sort of talks to your pod, and I thought it was a good place to start.
So greatest is interesting because it's I made the distinction between
greatest golf course that I've played.
So the distinction that I made was between favorite and best. So is greatest like a combination of those 2 things?
I think so. I think greatest is it's art test stuff here, guys. So I look forward to some horrible comments coming my way in future, because this is going to be quite controversial. But yeah, greatest golf course. So in most of these, I've picked my golf course and then either had a 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th closest. So I don't know. I mean, this is probably an easy one. We were chatting a few weeks ago, and you said you think you'll probably be able to choose 5 or 6 of my 7. So maybe the way to go is for me to introduce the category that I'm going, and then you guys can have a crack at what you think it is. So greatest golf course for Hoff.
So just quickly run us through how do you define greatest?
It's it's a tough question to answer because there's no.
How did you get there? Then?
I mean, it's got to be fun.
Okay.
It's got to be playable for a 20 handicapper. It's got to have views. It's got to have carts. Shout out Teabag. It's got to have curry gravy.
Is pace of play in this?
Pace of play was actually taken into account, interestingly enough.
Okay.
But I would say pace of play is not high on the agenda for this category.
You can see where I'm going with my guess here.
I can see where you're going.
Ford, do you want to have a crack first at this one?
Champagne.
Was that what you think Hoff's greatest
Yeah,
golf
I
course is going
thought
to be?
it was.
So the fact that Hoff said he did consider it, but then it's not a major factor makes me think it's not Champagne. I'm going to say Amdoni.
Well done, JDV. 1 out of 1. Naught out of 1 for FD. Greatest golf course, definitely Amdoni Park. Grew up there, spoken about it ad nauseum on this particular podcast. Absolutely love the golf course, love the playability of it. Yes, the golf course itself can do better. The greens can be better. The conditioning can be better. We know all of those things, but it also plays into why it's my greatest.
Yeah.
The views are incredible. The curry gravy is right up there with the best of the best. Can they improve on their golf carts? I think they can. They do shock us every now and then when they backfire.
They have changed them though. They are newer ones.
There are newer ones.
I wouldn't say they're new.
I think I've only received the newer ones on the last sort of 2 out of 5 experiences there. Views, second to none. And just good fun. I mean, we've had so many good experiences there growing up as a lighty, playing. I mean, I think it was the first 18 holes I ever played as a lighty. And then, moving on in life, having bachelor parties there and hopefully going around there with our lighties one day.
Yeah.
But close second was FD's guess, Champagne Sports. Obviously not a difficult guess to go with. And to your point on pace of play, that's exactly why it's second to Amdoni Park. But a fantastic golf course as well.
I think we need to quickly just address the fact that, and you mentioned it, Hoff. The conditioning sometimes lacks. Maybe the layout's not to everyone's like architectural taste. But that is exactly what you say about why we also really love the course, because all of those imperfections for me make it like the perfect sort of course, because it doesn't have the airs and graces that it would if it was pristinely conditioned and it wasn't there. It didn't have those red tees that the lighties can play and learn how to play. It wasn't that holiday course. I think everything that people have a go at Amdoni about is also what makes it special. And I know we harp on about Amdoni Park here on the Go track, but I don't know. For me, Hoff, completely agree with you. As I said, I think if I changed my criteria slightly in my 7 courses, it probably had a very good case to be number 1. Just because it does scratch all of the itches that I like about golf, and not necessarily golf architecture, but just about golf in general. So great pick.
FD?
I've never played Amdoni, so.
Sacrilege. Absolute sacrilege.
I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to play this year still, like before the end of the year, because as we all know, next year I'm not going to be golfing that much. So I'm keen to still play this year at least.
Yeah, look, I agree. I think you would enjoy it, FD. I think there are a few holes where your, what do we call it?
Slice.
Slice. No, it's a slice. Let's be honest, it's a slice.
That you could still keep it in play. There would be a few ones I'd really love to watch you tee off where the trees are quite close in the tee box. And I say that not laughing at you, but by experience, to be honest. I've hit a lot of those trees. But I mean, also to the Champagne Sports argument, like I love the Champagne Sports layout. I think it's absolutely incredible. It's fun playing it in winter when it's hard and runs and all of that, but even better in summer when it's soft and green, amazing views and all of that. So I think if, it wasn't so holiday-y and was run a little bit more professionally, it would probably be a lot.
They just need
closer.
a stricter
Starter.
a stricter course marshal and a starter. They need 2 extra people on that course, and they've solved the problem.
But is Champagne not one of the more better holiday golfing?
No. It's one of the top KZN courses in terms of layout, conditioning, everything. But I mean, if you look at the sort of the top 100 and the criteria, it does fall behind in pace of play. So it's not just us who've had a couple of bad experiences. I mean, it's pretty much across the board.
No, I mean, my question really relates to, I mean, if you compare it to the other holiday courses in KZN, like Drag Gardens.
It's a different category.
It's more like a wild coast.
Yes, it's a golf course, but it's a different category of golf course compared to those.
Wow.
I think those are more sort of goat tracky. Some of them better than others, but Champagne Sports is like a proper layout that happens to be at a resort. But yeah, they do drop the ball. I mean, we have had long rounds. Yeah. But yeah, that's why it's probably got second, but happy with Amdoni Park. So number 2, the category is worst golf course.
Fuad, do you want me to have a crack at this one first?
You can first.
Okay, Hoff, just give us a bit of what makes a golf course crappy for you.
Our test, again, it's about the experiences that I've had there. So there's a couple of things. How well I've played there on the various occasions that I've played there, if I've ever played well there. How welcoming it is by the locals or the members. The look of the golf course. All of those kinds of things play into it. Food. Is there curry gravy? Yes or no? That's a big one, as we know. The bar, the vibe.
So, I'm assuming it's in KZN. I've just taken that flyer that all of your golf courses are KZN.
So amazingly, it isn't KZN, but the others that are considered are not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Fuad, do you want to have a first crack at this?
Yeah.
Okay.
KCC.
Negative.
Wow.
I mean, that was the obvious guess. I'm going to go Victoria Country Club.
Also negative.
Because I know you've had your issues with VCC before.
I have. And now that you say it, it probably is higher up in consideration. But it is not mine.
Do you not like VCC?
I do and I don't, FD. I've never played well there. I have bad memories there.
But I think you acknowledge that it's not a bad golf course.
That's why I'm saying I do and I don't. Like, it's a good layout, and it's, you don't want to say the R word on the podcast, but I have been assaulted there.
It's the R word.
I don't know.
It starts with the R and sounds like ape.
Cheapers.
That's what I don't want to say. But I have been assaulted by VCC on many occasions.
Yeah.
So, but I do acknowledge that it is a good layout.
But by your golf, playing there. I mean, let's just clarify this.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I didn't want to say it.
Okay, well, what is it, Hoffman?
It's Gowrie Farm.
Wow. So, yes, okay.
Shout out T-Bag.
Yeah,
the new layout now? Have you played there now?
Either way. Just, I've never had a good experience there. Ever?
I think we need to get you back there because...
I'm sure. It's not to say that I don't want to play there. It's just, I've never played well there. I think it's probably got a lot to do with what's happened the night before, because whenever we played there, it's been on golf tour, and usually it's been precipitated by being at Notty's pub, which is a hard place to get out of alive.
So I've played it with you twice, and both times we played it, it was
We've
a
played
tough...
more than that, by the way. We've played J Africa Cup there.
But I remember we played, it was windy. I mean, Johan's not the quickest player in the world. That was a bit frustrating.
Yeah. I've
think
also played Ryder Mag there where I got hurt badly. And I've just never, like everything that you guys talk about liking, I've never liked. I don't like the look of it. I don't like I don't like the holes.
But it's interesting that you say that, because it is quite polarizing that you have guys rating it as like either their favorite course, or people saying I don't like it at all. And even we were talking about with the changes, those changes have made it even more polarizing than it was previously, in the sense that it doesn't necessarily reward all of the best shots. It's got an element of luck to it. I know I've heard my stepdad say that he doesn't like it because they don't have bunkers, they've got holes in the ground. Whereas I love the fact that there's these like waste bunker areas, that there's like, tufts of grass there that make it tricky.
I know that that's meant to be the traditional thing and the whole like look like Scotland thing, but the reality is that we don't live in Scotland. And I've hit far too many stray rocks and got into the bottom of those holes that your dad's spoken about before. I've also played there in big wind. And so for someone like me, it's a super challenge getting around there. Obviously, I didn't like, when I first played there, I didn't like having to, hit over a green to get to a fairway or vice versa. Okay. It's changed, but there's just like most of the holes I don't.
And you can't, and they encourage you not to take a cart.
And well, yeah, I didn't take that into consideration, but now that you've said it, it's just another.
Look, Hoff, I think obviously, I mean, it's your list. I'm not going to convince you one way or another, but I do think that you need to give it another go. I mean, I think it is a proper lacquer course.
Like to the point of how welcoming a place is as a guest and all of that. Like I found it very stale. I don't know. I've just never had. There's never been a vibe there. Like whenever we've played there, you sit there and have a beer, and you're like, okay, well, let's just head back to wherever we're staying so that we can actually have a good time.
Look, I think I'll agree with you there. I think the vibe will depend on who you're playing with in that case. Like, I mean, if you've got, I don't think there'll ever be like a crew just hanging around there having beers. There's not going to be that self-created vibe. But if you go there with, 4 balls to go and play, it's actually can get very vibey.
Look, I'm all in for having my mind changed.
It was decent when we played there last time, but again, that might have been
because you guys were there.
No, but also the Springboks were playing that Saturday just as we finished, so that might have been why.
Look, my considerations that came close. So I don't want to say second or third because there's a lot more than that. So my close second was any golf course in Johannesburg.
Anything with the weeping willow.
And that's super, super harsh because I've actually played some really lacquer golf courses in Johannesburg. But what I mean by that statement is, as you know, like all of those golf courses are so flippin' generic. Like you just play one, you've played all. I actually really like the one that I always refer to, Modderfontein. Like I always played that going and visiting friends in that in Joburg. But everything else that looks like it is like a disappointment. It's a letdown.
That's hilarious.
I played Royal J&K. It was fun. It wasn't like amazing. Serengeti was a great experience apart from the fact that I played it in -1.
Serengeti also looks very different to a lot of the Joburg courses.
Yeah.
As does like
super well conditioned, and we were treated like, unbelievably at the clubhouse. So it's a big, wide, stereotypical statement.
Ibotsi is very different. I mean, I think
I'm still happy to stick by that. And that statement also applies to a lot of golf courses up there that I haven't played, but I've walked. But I don't find that they offer anything unique one from the other. That's the reality. Whether you're playing Rand Park or, obviously some of them are better golf courses. Like an Eagle Canyon is fun, but no, I've never found, there's no golf course up there where I've been like, oh my word.
I think we need to get you to Glendower. And you need to play Parkview, actually.
Look, I haven't played Glendower, but
you have walked it, yeah.
And I mean, like walking around there, Jacques, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. Watching Rory go around there as easily as he did. And I think we came around to the fact that we ended up supporting Graham Storm, which shocked all of us. But again, like there was nothing when I was walking around there. I wasn't like, oh my word, this is insane. I can't wait to play this golf course. I was like, jeepers, I hope those cars calm down on the N3 or N2 going past,
So what were some of the other honourable mentions that you had there?
That was those were my
okay. So it was honourable mentions was every golf course in Johannesburg.
Close second was every. So I said Jack second any golf course in JH.
Okay.
And to the VCC point, it wasn't, and even now, it wouldn't be a consideration.
And Kloof?
Kloof, also not. So my issues with Kloof, and I've tried to clarify this again and again and again, is purely a cost thing.
Yeah.
It's not, I've had
Fun rounds.
I've had massively fun rounds there. I love playing at Kloof because it's so playable.
Yes.
There are aspects of it that are not great, but, you know, that's the goal.
So if they hit the right price point, would your mind like turn around immediately?
Completely.
Okay.
Completely.
That's interesting.
I mean, growing up playing a lot of golf at KCC, I was a member there as well. Not treated so well as a junior member, to be honest.
I think they've changed that. I mean, I know they do a lot
so.
for junior golf.
I think
there.
so. But yeah, I don't. The price point is an issue with Kloof. I have every time I play Kloof, I have tons of fun. Apart from the occasional bunker that you end up in, which can damage your equipment. But yeah, that was not a consideration.
Hi, this is Dale Hayes, and you're listening to The Goat Track.
All right, Hoff, let's move it along.
Okay.
Number 3.
Best golfing experience.
Okay. And this is now talking about like everything combined in terms of like how you treated the service that you get.
The golf, how much fun you've had on the golf course.
Again, like
How welcoming they are.
Again, I wish I could sort of see. And again, do you know which one you would actually appreciate here? Zimbali Lakes. They're pretty good with that. But you weren't able to make it.
FD?
No, but you have to give us a.
Okay,
What did you look at when you determined?
No, so it's like the service that you get and the actual experience.
Like the vibe in the clubhouse, how welcoming it is. The golf course, how fun the golf course is, how playable the golf course is as a 20 handicap.
The 20. I was going to say San Lemire is very good at like a golf experience sort of thing, but not a 20 handicapper.
Jacques, you go first. I just need to think about this. Is the course in KZN?
It is.
South Broom.
FD?
I haven't played South Broom. I actually wanted, for some reason, I wanted to say Selborne. But Selborne is the one with the clubhouse that's open on the outside, eh? Where those nets are. They have those,
Yes.
Yeah, that's Selborne.
In Pennington.
Yes.
Yeah. Not that one.
No, it's not that. Definitely not that one. Cotswold?
So I didn't like Jacques. I didn't take Cotswold into account for anything because it's my home course. But I think time has passed for you.
Yeah.
So close second was South Broom.
Okay.
And my first was indeed San Lemire.
Wow.
Okay. So the only reason I didn't say San Lemire was because it's not an easy go for a 20 handicap.
And there's a lot of water.
Yeah.
But remarkably, for me, I've always played well there, relatively. But like the vibe there is, for me, second to none. How welcoming they are. We've had huge jewels there where you have no intention and no need to leave the clubhouse.
But they also pull out all the stops and they accommodate you. I mean, I know when we've taken a couple of tours there and we've told them, listen, we're going to bring 12 guys. They've sorted out a bra for us. They set up that whole green that we chipped onto the 18th and had like closest to the pin. They put up prizes for us. Like
you did a beer hole there.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's why I said my initial thought, the only thing that threw me off was you said a 20 handicapper plays well then. I was like, I can't see a 20 handicapper playing well at San Lemire. But otherwise, yeah, I'd co-sign that.
Okay, number 4, worst golfing experience, worst value for money.
Okay, well,
same category.
That's got to be Kloof.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not in KZN.
Okay. Can we get at least a hint on what province it is?
Oh, well, they'll give it away.
No, it'll be like Sun City.
Yeah. Lost
Okay.
City.
Lost City.
Yeah.
Lost City.
Oh yeah, because I was going to say the Gary player is like top notch in terms of them taking your bags. Like, Lost City, we still have a pod lined up, Terence and I, where we're going to take that thing to pieces.
Yeah. CC was my honourable mention there, for obvious reasons. I'm not going to relitigate that. But yeah, I think the Sun International golf courses in general have taken like a massive dive.
Yeah.
I actually played Lost City. I've played it twice. I played it the first time when it was meant to be a lot better. And I just remember coming off it and thinking, what the hell? You know, like you stung for cost. I enjoyed the golf course, to be honest. Like, it was good fun. It was a little bit, what's the word?
It's like a little bit contrived, almost.
Yeah. But it was okay. I would imagine you would have been terrified of snakes and crocodiles and all that kind of stuff.
Not really. I was actually excited to play when I got there. Like the entire look of the pro shop, and there where you sit and eat your breakfast. I mean, looking out on the first hole, but then just as you started playing.
But I think they take the piss with the cost.
I mean, it's over 1,000 rand, I think.
It was
to
over
play.
1,000 rand when I played it, and that was a good few years.
But I mean, in the conditioning, I mean, on one fairway there were like devil thorns on the fairway. I was like, how am I paying over 1,000?
I just remember being so excited to play there, like so excited, and then I played and I was like, oh, that stung.
So also, I don't know if they've had like water issues or something, because a lot of when we were there, when we played, there were like pipes and stuff that had clearly recently been dug up. So I don't know if that, but again, if that's the case, you would think that they would drop their fees or say to you, look, guys, like there are some issues. That goes a hell of a long way to saying, it's the same as if guys have just done holotining or whatever, to say, look, guys, we've just done our spring treatment a week ago, like we've reduced the fees by 25%, like, and do you still want to play? But I mean, to just sort of present it as though it's in as good a condition as the Gary player, which is not the case. And bearing in mind, it's dropped off. I think it's dropped into like the 80s.
No, it's crazy.
Into the 80s of the top 100. I think it was a top 10, top 20 course at one stage.
Yeah. And I think the first time I played it, it was, I can't remember if it was top 10. It was definitely top 20. And I think at that time it was the best course that I was ever going to play. And that's why I was so excited about it. And like super let down.
Yeah.
Super let down.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, number 5. Most overhyped experience for what it is.
Yo.
So that's talk. People have told you how good it is.
Well, I mean, Gary's got another strong case there.
Yeah, Gary's in the mix.
But I would say that because you picked Gary for something else, it's not going to be Gary. Is it a KZN course?
It is.
I would say Simbiti.
Simbiti's not, actually. I mean, I've said some pretty horrible things about Simbiti in my time. But in the category which kind of stands alone, what do they call it? Executive golf course. Like I've always had fun at Simbiti. Well conditioned. I do like the fact that it's been the last stop on our golf tours a few times, and that works because you're tired and you don't really feel like a full golfing experience. I do feel like it's kind of like in between.
Is it Durban Country Club?
It's not.
No, but has he played Durban Country Club, the new layout?
I've walked it. I haven't played it. So yeah, I didn't consider Durban Country Club. So I'll take you through the honourable mentions. Gary Farm, honourable mention. Yeah. Wild Coast, honourable mention. And I think that came down because of you, Jacques, to be honest. Because I remember playing the first time and you used to talk a lot about Wild Coast. And I think by the time we played it, it had been hit by the Sun International lack of funding. And enjoyed the layout, had fun, but I was like, I couldn't understand how that was the top course in KZN at one stage.
Look, 100%. And I think, I've revised my opinion on Wild Coast, although I do see the Sunshine Tour event that's going on there at the moment, and the course is looking mint again. But, it went through a very, very tough couple of years, and I think that might have been when you played it, where...
And as I say, had lots of fun there, played decently well every time I played there. Got close to a hole-in-one on the signature hole, if you remember.
Yes, yeah, that was hectic.
That very intentional fade that I had. Got caught in the wind, and I don't know if you remember, but the caddies were running around as the ball hit the green. They were running to try. It came so close, FD. But anyway, Umhlali has an honourable mention.
That would have been my.
But
I was thinking.
The only thing that I would say why I'm glad it wasn't is because Umhlali's not overhyped. I don't know who's hyping Umhlali up.
It's just for what it is, the experience of what it is. I think those Belito guys talk it up, and whenever I play there, again, I have fun, but whenever I play there, I'm like, this is pretty cuck. You know what I mean? it's just
So would you say Mhlali is like the Kloof Country Club of the North Coast?
I would say so. Okay, so the winner is Princess Grant.
That surprises me because I feel like you are one of the chief hyper-uppers of Princess Grant.
And I'll take that on the chin. And that's, again, like, grew up playing Princess Grant, missions out there with Lovers. Shout out Lovers to Princess Grant as lighties. Loved it. Best curry gravy the world's ever seen until they stopped.
Wasn't that the course that he complained about the curry gravy and they commented on Instagram?
No, I didn't complain about the curry gravy. I complained about the lack.
There was no curry gravy.
But like of late, like again, you have fun there, but I don't know. The course itself, like how you welcomed, all of those kinds of things, it's so overhyped by myself previously. You know, like you can't find distances on the fairway. There's no curry gravy half the time. You know, how many times have we played Princess Grant at a decent time and you walk into the halfway house and they got airfall?
Yeah.
You're like, I'll have that. They're like, oh no, sorry, we ran out of bread.
Look, they also had a tough scene with their greens. I know that they've redone a lot of the greens. I mean, for a couple of years, you know, you could play 1-9 and then they opened the other 9 and redid the greens. Look, I think it's come back. I know Terrence said that he played it recently and the greens were still a little bit of a tough scene.
I think it's because it's also like a distance to get there. And so you're excited. You know, you've got to plan to play there. And I think the last 3-4 times it's been a bit of a lesson.
But let's just differentiate between like worst course and overhyped course because it's still I still think it's a lacquer course to go play.
The layout is super lacquer. It really is. There's interesting holes, there's nice holes, there's fun holes, there's difficult holes. So I like the layout is not an issue here. It's just the feeling that you have after you've made a mission to drive, what is it, an hour and a half?
It's quite a mission.
Yeah,
I mean,
to get out there and then, you know, you're like, you know, it should have lived up to more.
Do you think, this is like a psychology session, do you think like a lot of these are like your own states of mind when you sort of get there and are playing as opposed to what they're selling? Or do you think like a lot of these...
I haven't played badly at Princess Grant. I have played badly before. I played shockingly badly, but that's at every golf course. But I have had some good rounds at Princess Grant. So I don't think state of mind is what it is. I think it's purely because of the mission to get there. You know, you have to be psyched. Generally, you're psyched up to play there. You haven't played there for a while. It's a long way, blah, blah, blah. And then kind of like falls flat on vibe. Falls flat on like, you know, the halfway house and those kinds of things, and just for that, it just feels
because look, I mean, if I'm trying to poke holes in this, I'd be saying that.
Go away.
Okay, the one is, you know, the halfway house. We've had some rough time. I mean, not at the halfway house. Checking in and the rest of it, it's also been a bit of a disaster sometimes.
Horrible.
Like so, like when am I playing? Like where it's like no one there. Yeah. I think once you're on the course, it can be difficult because it's always exposed to the wind, so you're not going to get there. I mean, the one hole at Princess Grant, I just need to remember which one it is, but it's like virtually. I remember standing on the tee box and I'm like, if I even get this thing on the fairway, my next shot is the most impossible shot of my life. It's that one that steep bank on the right and a dog leg. It's par 4 that dog legs right with a huge drop off on the left.
Yes.
And like you've basically got to aim at the bank on the right, and then your next shot is like no way that I'm keeping it in play.
Which hole is that? Because I mean, if you have to hit from right to left, then
it's the one. It's quite a far. I think if it's the one you're talking about, it's quite a far drive to get to that tee box, and you go up the hill.
Yeah, that's the one.
But I actually quite like that about Princess Grant. I like the quirkiness of the holes. I like that they're different. I like that they're challenging. The wind can make it impossible. Yeah. I mean, the other hole that's flipping hard is that very straightforward par 3.
The second one.
The one. It's the 11th. Yes, just it's like straight. It's like an uphill, but it's
if the wind's
right
blowing
on
on there, you're in serious trouble.
But Hoff, if I said to you, right, they've got a new person at Halfway House super switched on is like, okay, here you are, there we go. We've got a starter, halfway house is fully stocked, and there's
Aircon's not dripping on you in the halfway house.
but there's 12 people afterwards, and we're gonna have like a lekker beer, and we've got a bus, so you don't have to worry about drinking and driving.
I mean, this is the one course that I would love to remove this from my list, to be honest, and put it on another list, because, as I say, I grew up playing there, love the layout, but I think it's the last it's not like the last experience, it's the last good few experiences, where you just come out like, that wasn't.
But that's what I'm saying, is that like it's almost small changes, and maybe it's just been luck of the draw. And I know that I'd say that maybe it isn't if it's been the last couple of times, but that you get there on a different day and things are working a bit better and things are stocked a bit differently, and it's a great experience.
100%.
And I think I played with you the last 2 times when you played there. I mean, the problem was those days that the weather was cuck those days and couldn't really.
Yeah, look, we've played in some rainy conditions there as well, so maybe that's made a difference. It also feels like the rounds there are long,
but they are. I mean, because it's difficult. I don't think it's like Umdoni and Zimbali Lakes where they've red staked the whole thing. I think a lot of it's like lost ball, re-tee, long drives between holes, and I think that makes it long. I mean, that's just the nature of it.
Okay, number 6 is best goat track.
Let me let Fuad take this one first.
You need to go first.
So I think that you would be putting, and again, I would wonder does Port Shepstone count as a goat track?
Port Shepstone?
Yeah.
Sheppies.
I think so, yes.
Okay, so I just need to get a reference point, because I mean, I know we played Umco, which I mean, I was very impressed with Umco.
Yeah, so that would be all in the category.
Okay.
And that's maybe being harsh to Umco, but that's
wonder
just the broadness of the...
I'm going to go out on a limb here, just because I know this is where you played a lot of golf growing up, and I'm going to say Windsor.
FD?
I don't know where Carlos played a lot of golf. I haven't played a lot of golf in KZN. I mean, I'm just going to take a guess. I'll say Sheppies.
Okay, so... this was very, very tight. This was actually very, very tight.
Actually, I want to change my opinion. I'm going to say Drac Gardens.
Okay. So both of what you mentioned are in there. It was very difficult to separate, and I don't even know if I have separated it, to be honest. So in the list was Cathedral Peak.
Okay.
Which I've always had fun at Cathedral Peak. Drac Gardens, which together with Umdoni is the dream golf course to redesign if you had billions of rands. The memory of Windsor Park. Because playing it as a lighty, it was so much fun, and going back to the whole thing with Umdoni and imperfections and that is Windsor Park. And then the one that couldn't be on the list today, because I don't know if it even really exists apart from having a few holes in the ground, is Sani Pass Hotel.
Oh, I was going to say Saddle and Trout. But.
So I ended up giving it to Sani Pass.
Okay.
And that's purely because it's the first golf course I ever played. So Umdoni was my first 18 holes, but Sani Pass was my first golf course I ever played. And we used to play there regularly. And it used to be as a lighty, on holiday, there were very little rules. Like a little goat track. So much fun. Same as Windsor, to be honest. Except Windsor, you weren't really at risk of being robbed.
You mean Sani Pass? I think at Windsor you're very much at risk of being robbed.
Sorry, that's what I meant, yeah. Sani Pass, Drac Gardens, Windsor, Cathedral Peak.
So Berg courses, essentially.
Apart from Windsor, of course.
Is that number 7, or do you still have one more to go?
That's number 6.
7 is the one where...
So number 7, I started with a number 7, and then I deleted it. And I was like, I think it would actually be cool for you guys to come up with a category or a question which would be my number 7.
Okay.
You've played a lot of golf with me. You know me as a golfer, and the sort of intricacies of how I see golf or play golf or anything like that. So number 7 is thrown back at you.
So I would say, am I giving you what I think you should? I'm giving you a category, and you're going to consider it.
Correct.
Okay, bucket list course. The one that you haven't played, but that you're most excited to play.
Can we narrow it down a bit? Is it a South African course?
South
Is it a
African
world
course.
course?
No, yeah, South African course.
South African bucket list. I think it's actually an easy one. I think it would be Leopard Creek.
Leopard Creek.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay, let's take bucket list without the top 10 in there.
Bucket list without the top 10. Sheepers.
What, the top 10 in South Africa?
Yeah.
Maybe fan course, very much top 10. Sure. Somewhere in the Garden Route, Western Cape, I would say.
So I was thinking like for you like a Pinnacle Point, but I think you would get super frustrated with Pinnacle Points just because there's also like a lot of lost balls out there.
That doesn't faze me, to be honest. I think with those kinds of golf courses, the moment or the experience of playing a golf course like that sort of overrules everything.
Okay.
And, that's why I didn't put Serengeti into any of these lists, because like the day that I played Serengeti, it was horrible. It was terrible. I mean, I was freezing cold. But because it's like a nice golf course and it's an experience to play that golf course, it still sits in my mind positively. And I think the same would go for like a Pearl Valley, a Fan Court, anything like Pinnacle Point, Leopard Creek, any of those. Like the way I play is actually irrelevant on the day. It's more about the experience of it. And then afterwards analysing it to see where I fit it into these categories.
So interestingly, sorry, just on your point about Serengeti, because, I suppose this is why these are so good, because it is so subjective. I mean, you use Serengeti as like an example of a course that you probably didn't play in the best conditions in terms of weather, but came off like loving it. I mean, you've mentioned a lot in terms of like favourite experiences and the rest of it. Swanee absolutely hates Serengeti.
Yeah.
And then you've got a situation where you like, look, maybe some of the courses that you've mentioned, like, you haven't had a good experience there, but someone else might come off and be like, that is everything for me. And that's why I suppose a lot of it, unless you're playing these courses regularly, some of the times it's just like...
Luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Luck of the draw.
That's why it's my list.
No, but 100%. But I think that's sort of what I'm trying to make known, is that like these lists are personal. And that's what's lekker about golf. I mean, especially in KZN, where there's such a variety of different types of golf courses. Shout out Gauteng with one type of golf course. Is that you do have, what is Terence Favourite's course at Gowrie is like your worst course, and like there's like nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's it's a very subjective area. I mean,
and I think that the subjectiveness of it is also largely based on like having played a lot of golf in KZN, and specifically the KZN South Coast, and loving those kinds of golf courses. And guys from Joburg or Cape Town, they might come to KZN, to the South Coast, and play those courses and go, but it's not well conditioned.
Not enough weeping willows, for my liking.
No weeping willows, not enough this, not enough that. So I think that's the beauty of it. I mean, I really wanted to put Umco onto this list somewhere on the positive side of it. I mean, that's like a prime example of a golf course that it was such a lekker layout.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Is it conditioned nicely? Absolutely not. I mean, look at the halfway house. I mean, that was probably one of the worst halfway houses I've experienced.
Well, I can say that wasn't a one-off as well, because we went and played there a couple of weeks ago, and it was as bad.
Yeah,
if not worse.
I mean, when we played there, child labour was a question mark.
It's still very much a question mark. That was not a one-off thing either.
Okay. That's even more worrying. And just a note, I don't support that side of it.
Bring your son to work day every day.
But like hell of an experience, like great layout and all of that kind of stuff. So, those you can see how my list is very skewed, and I completely know that it's skewed and biased and at times silly, but that's the feeling of it.
That's what you enjoy.
Like
that's fair.
Southbrim and all of those, I just prefer those golf courses. It's not to say I don't want to play the others. Very excited to play the others, but yeah, it is what it is.
Fuad, do you have a category that you want to...
Not a category, just a question, because I've heard him talk about it many times about if he had billions of rands, he would redesign or redevelop Mdoni. If you could pick 3 holes at Mdoni, and I don't want you to tell me why, I want you to give me the holes, and then I want to go play it, and I want to go see if I think it needs changing. So 3 holes at Mdoni that you would change.
2.
Okay.
2 definitely. I think it's a bit of a waste of a hole. It's not a great hole. There's not much beauty to it or anything like that. I know. I'm trying to think on the back nine. Definitely 9.
I was about to say, you and Terence definitely ripped me on my
definitely 9. A 3rd would be tough.
Say 11 maybe, that dog leg left onto
that hole. I like the fact that you have to get it past that tree.
Yeah.
After that, it's a bit... Yeah. But... I don't know. I would say 2 holes.
Okay.
Those would be my 2 holes.
So 2 and 9.
2 and 9, yeah.
Okay.
I think 2 is like a waste.
It's also flipping difficult.
It is tough.
Because that tee shot is super intimidating. That was the one where I'm sure I told you, because I fired the spotter. Did I mention that to you?
Where your ball went...
Yeah, we got a spotter and he managed to make it to the second hole before we fired him.
Second hole tee box, you mean?
No, yeah, well, he was standing there waiting for the ball, and then it was massive pumping wind right to left. And I hit it right with a slight draw, and it just caught the wind and went into the left bush. And the oak was searching in the right bush. So eventually I called him, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, like, did you see the ball?" He's like, "Yeah, it went in here," like, and points like where I'm looking. So I'm like, "Okay, well, where here?" He's like, "No, you can just drop somewhere here." I'm like, "Okay, this is not the spotter I need."
You're fired. It is amazing though, like on that hole, the amount of times for a person that slices the ball, I've hooked the ball into those like banana trees on the left is like, it's unbelievable. So I feel your spotter's pain. Your previous spotter.
Look, he got paid. We didn't fire him without severance. He got
a package.
He got a package. Okay, Hoffman, I think that's a very eclectic 7 things. Some positives, some negatives.
I think we need the little kid from Mercury Rising to try and spot the pattern in that. But yeah, it was good fun putting it together, to be honest.
It is. I mean, and I think that is the beauty of like I said, of SA Golf, is that we do have such a variety of golf courses and experiences from like, inland, safari, garden routes, coastal, weeping willows, all of the above. And yeah, it's awesome. Lekker gents, any parting thoughts before we land the plane?
I was actually just surprised that there was no drive-by in KCC this time.
There are a couple of, in fact, if anything, it was a drive-by and pick them up, like open the door, get inside.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. I thought he was quite easy on KCC this time.
My comments on KCC have been misinterpreted.
I think you've clarified your position on KCC.
I don't have a problem with, I do have a problem with KCC, but I don't have a problem with the golf course. I think if anything, Gary probably took a few drive-bys. Well, maybe not drive-bys, just straight shot in the head.
Yeah.
Assassination attempts. All right, gentlemen. Well, let's leave it at that. We'll see what.
I'm interested to see FD's 7.
I think we got to get. I think we got to get him onto a couple more variety of golf courses.
But
I need to play a bit more.
That will make the first 7 very interesting, and then you do another 7 in a year or two's time.
Actually trying to think now what my 7 best courses are. But anyway, it's fine. We'll get
it. Doesn't have to be your 7 best. Just 7 things about golf.
Number 1, Worcester.
100%. No, actually, Riverside Golf Club.
Vredendal CC.
That was one of the top 100 9-hole courses, I think. Top 50.
I didn't even know it existed, but there we go.
All right, gentlemen. Let's call it there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, gents.